Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Miqail Zachary bin Arfian. My matrix number is 4241003082. So today I would like to present my research proposal with the impact between dark triad personality, emotional exhaustion and workplace deviant behavior among employees in Selangor. So this study aims to examine how personality traits and emotional exhaustion influence workplace deviant behavior among employees. First, let me begin with the background of the study. Employee behavior plays an important role in determining an organization's success. Employees who demonstrate positive behavior such as teamwork and commitment can improve productivity and organizational performance. However, negative behavior known as workplace deviant behavior can harm both the organization and employee. Example including bullying, theft, gossiping and intentionally reducing work performance. Previous studies have suggested that dark triad personality and emotional exhaustion are two important factors that may contribute to this negative workplace behavior. Therefore, this study focuses on examining this relationship. Moving on to the problem statement. Although many organizations have improved their human resource management practice, workplace deviant behavior remains a serious issue. Many previous studies focus mainly on organizational factors such as leadership and job satisfaction. However, less attention has been given to individually personality traits, especially the dark triad personality. Next are the research question and research objective. This study addressed three research questions. The first is whether there is a gender difference in dark triad personality. The second is whether there is a gender difference in emotional exhaustion. And finally, the study examined the impact of dark triad personality and emotional exhaustion on workplace deviant behavior. Accordingly, the research objectives are to determine the gender difference and examine the relationship between three variables. So, based on research objective, three hypotheses has been developed. The first hypothesis states that there is a significant relationship between dark triad personality and workplace deviant behavior. The second hypothesis proposes a significant relationship between emotional exhaustion and workplace deviant behavior. And lastly, the third hypothesis suggests a significant relationship between dark triad personality and emotional exhaustion among employees in Selangor. Now, let's look at the significance of the study. The finding of the study will contribute to the field of industrial psychology by providing a better understanding of employee behavior. It can also help human resource practice, improve recruitment, employee management and workplace intervention strategy. Besides that, organizations may use the finding to reduce workplace deviant behavior, while employees can gain greater awareness of the effect of personality and emotional stress. Finally, this study may serve as a useful reference for future researchers. Next is the literature review. So, the dark triad personality consists of three personality traits, which is Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Individuals with these traits are more likely to manipulate others and behave unethically. Emotional exhaustion refers to a state where employees feel emotional, drained due to prolonged work stress. It often results in fatigue, reduced motivation, and poor work performance. Previous studies also suggest that emotional exhaustion may increase workplace deviant behavior as a way of coping with stress. For workplace deviant behavior, it refers to a voluntary action that violates organizational rule and norm. This behavior can be divided into organizational deviant, such as misusing company resources, and interpersonal deviant, such as bullying or gossiping. Researchers have found that both personality traits, psychological conditions play important roles in predicting workplace deviant behavior. This study is supported by two theories. The first is social exchange theory, which explains the employee expect fair treatment from their organization. If they experience unfair treatment, they may become emotionally exhausted and eventually engage in deviant behavior. The second is trait activation theory, which suggests that personality traits become more visible and when triggered by workplace situation, such as high stress, heavy workload, or weak supervision. Together, this theory explains how emotional exhaustion and dark trait personality contribute to workplace deviant behavior. So, this slide presents the conceptual framework of the study. Dark trait personality and emotional exhaustion are the independent variable, and workplace deviant behavior is the dependent variable. This framework proposes that both independent variables have a direct relationship with workplace deviant behavior among employees. This study adopts a quantitative research design, and the data will be collected through a self-administered questionnaire using Google Form. The collected data will then be analyzed using SPSS to examine the relationship between the variable and test the research hypothesis. So for the sampling method, the target population for this study is employees working in Selangor. A convenient sampling technique will be used because it allows researchers to collect data from respondents who are easily accessible and willing to participate. Only full-time employees from various organizations will be included in this study. The research procedure consists of several stages. First, a literature review will be conducted. Next, the questionnaire will be developed and validated. After obtained participant consent, the questionnaire will be distributed through Google Form. Finally, the response will be analyzed using SPSS before interpret the finding and preparing for the final report. So the questionnaire from the Google Form consists of 4 sections, which is Section A, collect demographic information. The Section B, measure dark trait personality. Section C, measure emotional exhaustion. And Section D, measure workplace deviant behavior. And all response will be measured using a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from 1 until 5, which is represent strongly disagree, to 5, which represent strongly agree. So that is all for my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.